Hi, everybody. Welcome to our new Analytics and Data TechCast. I'm so happy and grateful to have this time not the whole team, but very, very important people from the Analytics and Data community. We are going to talk today about Analytics and Data Summit 2023 that is going to be on March 14 to 16. So with me, I have Dan Blamis, which is the president at Blamis Software Solution. It's one of the founders of this amazing community. Thank you, Dan, for being here.
Yep.
We have Xin Im, which is the principal product manager at Oracle. Xin, in addition to all her amazing work in Oracle, she's helping us so much in not only to the Analytics and Data Oracle user community, but also to the Graph and Special Oracle user group. So her work in the Oracle community is so important. Thank you so much, Xin, for being with us. We have also Abby Shiles-Hay. Hi, Abby. She's the Chief Data Science Officer at Vertice Cloud. She's also Oracle Ace Director, same as Dan. And myself, which is, I'm also Oracle Ace Director. My name is Edelweiss Kammerman. I'm Director of AI and Machine Learning at IT Conversions. And we're going to start talking about our conference in 2023. But first of all, let's talk about a few things about our community. So we usually have 2 TechCasts. I imagine that all of you already know that. Usually we have 2 TechCasts per month, based on analytics or the integration or machine learning or graph and spatial. So stay tuned, because we are going to have in January more interesting content. This is the last TechCast for this year. We had an amazing year, honestly, and all the content is recorded. It's in our YouTube channel, and it's also in our website page. If you want to submit a topic, if you have something interesting to share with all of us, just submit a topic into our NWC/TechCast URL. Okay, perfect. And the most important thing, so finally, after 2 years of couldn't be together, we're going to be together again in our Analytics and Data Oracle User Community Summit 2023 in March 14, 15, 16. It's going to be 3 days for complete technical content on analytics, machine learning, graph and spatial, data integration, and so more. So it's going to be in the conference center, Redwood Shores. And Dan, I will love that you tell us which is this, what we can expect, honestly, from this conference, and what makes this conference unique.
You know, I think, Adel, we have invite all the panelists to jump in and share. We have people that are real community. This is kind of a intimate conference. You're thinking somewhere, it depends on how many people sign up, but somewhere in the 500, 200 to 500 type level, not an Oracle Cloud world where you have throngs of people. So you can find people, and it's all on one level. We'll talk more about the features of the conference and such, but it is purposefully built on specifically analytics and data. We'll be talking about spatial and graph technologies, machine learning, all that stuff. So it's all around Oracle technology, but especially around the analytics space and related technologies. And because we're focusing in that area, it provides a very nice venue to get into some of these topics and discuss how people can more make business decisions using data. Anything to add, folks?
I think from my perspective, Adel, you hit it on the head. Like it's the first one in 2 years. We've been separated, as you can hear from my accent. I'm not in the US, so I've not seen these beautiful people in actual 3D for 2 years. So it's going to be amazing just to get back around the coffee table. And I highlight the coffee table because that's often when, those little niche questions come up that you don't want to ask in a big group, but you just drag Dan to one side and go, hey, Dan, what about this? And like, that's the cool part. That's the thing that we've all missed. We can all talk to a screen really well. We've got good at that over the last 2 years, but it's those weird questions that you don't want to stick your hand up and ask, or you don't want to email, you just want to, oh yeah, that makes sense kind of moments. And that's what we've missed over the last 2 years. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to confess, I have never been to Redwood Shore. So this is going to be huge for me. Like, I've done the other Oracle campuses, but I've never been to this one. And lo and behold, they went and shut it down and moved out off site. So I mean, like, guys, come on.
Well, you got to see Lake Larry, Abby, with the boat in it.
Okay, well, is Larry going to be in the lake, or is no? Okay,
I just saw when
We
I
can
looked on
arrange it.
Google
We can
Maps, it
arrange
was
it.
called Lake Larry, and it was like, I didn't know that was called the little lagoon outside of the headquarters building that was built as headquarters. So.
Yeah, so I guess that's what I'm looking forward to the most, is it's that opportunity to have the informal chats that you just simply, in the world of Zoom and things like that, you just don't get a chance to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with Abby as well. I'm a Oracle product manager. The product managers love the opportunity to meet customers and partners, and also just to have these not only presentations, but chances to chat with you guys one-on-one and just hear formally, informally, what you think of our products, what you'd like. And every year that we've had this in person, I've consistently heard from our customers and partners, they love this conference, not only to meet product managers, but to meet each other. Like Abby said, to bridge these geographical divides. So a customer in Prague in media can meet a customer in the Midwest of the US in manufacturing, but they're both using spatial functionalities. They chat over coffee, they start trading code samples, and these relationships last. They keep in touch and continue the dialogue afterwards. So I think that's one of the coolest things about the event.
One of the things you touched on it, Jean, and I think we'll have it later on, but I want to make sure we highlight it. And that is having a feedback session to Oracle on Thursday afternoon, the third day of the conference. We are building into the schedule a time where customers and partners can provide feedback. And for that matter, there's going to be Oracle people there. They'll provide feedback through this channel directly to Oracle product management on the features that should be in the product, where they're going, that type of thing. And it's meant to be, if you will, turn the tables and provide the feedback back to Oracle rather than us just always hearing what it is. We get to talk to Oracle directly. There'll be some of the product managers, and for that matter, there may be some developers there that hear directly from the customers on what is important to you all in how you use this technology. So that'll be on Thursday afternoon. Let me get into a little bit. There are many ways to connect to us at A&D OUC. I'll put my A&D OUC hat on through our website, andouc.org. Real quick, I'll highlight that we are using A&D OUC as our acronym. And so don't use analytics and datasummit.org. It still will redirect, but to use andouc.org. We have a Slack, YouTube, a electronic newsletter, that type of thing. It's available in Facebook, LinkedIn, and Spatial and Graph SIG are all available in there. And I do want to highlight one thing, because I'll forget if I don't show this right here. Adel talked about several different tech casts. Adel, if you go ahead and mention just something about the videos we have up here. It's quite a library. Yeah,
and in fact, because we not only have these TechCasts every single month for these 2 TechCasts, but we also have the TechCast Days. So the TechCast Days is we have it once per quarter, and it's 3 days of technical content, of technical presentations, and all these presentations are alive. So it's not like they are recorded and we put it together. So you have the opportunity in every single TechCast and in every single session from our TechCast Days to ask your questions to the speakers, to the presenters in real time. That, I think, it's a big difference with other presentations, other virtual conference, virtual sessions in
So these recordings for multiple years go on and on
Yes,
in here in
exactly.
our YouTube channel, and we've recorded
they're
them
only-
and made them available for free.
Yes, and they're completely for free, and they're all technical. Okay, there is no marketing here. In the same way, there is no marketing in the sessions that are selected to be part of our summit. So that is also very important. So you're going to learn a lot, and this is an excellent way to start learning new stuff. Maybe you are more in graph and spatial, you haven't seen so much about analytics, and you want to start learning from that. This is a good opportunity. Go into the conference and get the opportunity to see the sessions in presence. You can talk with the presenters. It's a complete different interaction than just virtual meetings, right?
I'm going to go back then and talk more about the agenda in the conference and dive into some content. Why would you want to come to this conference called Analytics and Data Summit? The agenda is available at andsummit2023.sessionize.com. It's also on the page at andouc.org about the conference. Let me just go back and show. We kind of believe in demoing this stuff, so that's why we keep on flipping back and forth on here to show you. This is our homes page of andouc.org, and if you can see, this is about the TechCast days, sponsorships, so forth. But if you click on the 2023 tab, by the way, this is where you go to register, right here, buy tickets. You can see our growing list of top speakers as we highlight them. But then we have our keynotes, and this is where we have an embedded schedule. And in here, you can see the conference is built around really 3 parallel tracks most of the time. One room, this is by room, spatial and graph. Another for analytics plus. The plus is for additional technologies. It's not just Oracle analytics, it's also things that are doing analytics. Machine learning, AI, data warehouse, and other. And then we have 2 other rooms that we're using for other purposes. But on each of these, you can click on these and drill down into detail. This is what's embedded in our site on here. We also have information, we'll come back to this, on travel information and such. But that's what we have in terms of embedded on the site. We also have an app that's in andsummit2023.sessionize.com. And in there, you can see all the information. And that's what I'm going to use to ask people to highlight kind of what sessions would they be going to. You can look at this by day, by room, format, by track, all sorts of things. But rather than me showing you features of this, let me ask, Gene, I'm going to pick on you. Sessions that you're looking forward to, especially that's in this technical content.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. So the sessions that are near and dear to my heart are, of course, in the spatial and graph areas. I was struggling with limiting my favorites to just a couple because there are a lot. Dan, if you'll be patient,
Sure.
Just a couple things overall about the spatial and graph lineup. Just like you pointed out, there's a full room dedicated over the 3 days for spatial and graph content. We've got 5 spatial sessions and 6 graph sessions confirmed at this point. And as we've done for the entire conference, for spatial and graph, we've got a fantastic mix of technical sessions led by Oracle product managers with the latest and greatest features updates, as well as some interesting and varied use case examples from the real world and how-to sessions presented by some of our top customers and partners. So there's something for everyone. And just like Adel said, even if you're not a spatial and graph expert, or even if you've never heard these terms before, many of these sessions are really accessible, even if you're an analytics or machine learning person and just curious. They're designed to be understood by a broader audience to show you what can be done with these spatial and graph technologies using features that are right in your Oracle database that you don't have to even pay extra for. And so it's a spatial and graph track, but we're striving to show how these analytics can enhance your data warehouse, enhance your machine learning. So that's, I guess, my little intro. A couple of specific cool sessions that the first one is Grabbing Live Wires by Jim Chaprinsky and Dan. His last name is starts with a CZU. Yep, that's perfect. So Jim is for those of you who've been able to come to Oracle conferences, he's a veteran presenter, and he's kind of a rock star presenter. I think he's got a lot of high energy, great sense of humor, but also he really knows his stuff, especially coming from a database perspective. And he's just really talented in terms of making technology really clear and accessible, I think. So in this session, he decided he'd like to try to answer the question that is on many people's minds in government and in society nowadays. Where do we need more electrical vehicle chargers? We're all being encouraged to buy electric and go in that direction, and there's mandates, but we're seeing that there aren't enough chargers in the places that are needed. So Jim, he took some public data and just using Oracle Application Express and Spatial Studio, which are two GUI-based, really pretty easy to use tools. He built an application that answers this question for his home and for some of the locations that he generally takes long road trips on. It's really cool that he was able to build this demo himself in a relatively short amount of time. And in this session is fantastic because he shows step-by-step how to do it. And it's clear enough that I think anybody new to these technologies could actually take his session and go home and build something similar without too much difficulty. And he adds some really cool analytics to this scenario as well. He feeds the results into Analytics Cloud to answer interesting questions about this data, like, and he also incorporates some ML as well. So we can look at, oh, well, which communities are less served than others, and kind of combine the current state of EV locations with demographics, or with which areas are commercial, which are rural. So fascinating and relevant session there.
Very cool. I'm going to add that as a favorite, Jean, of mine. On each of these, if you look at this, it'll show you basically what else is taking place at the same time. And then you can click which ones are your favorites. You can see I have another one by Abby at the same time. I'll have to decide at the time which one I go to. There's so much good content in here, but that may be a reason why you all need to send multiple people from your company, because we will inevitably have sessions that are, you say, we got to see this, we got to see this, and learn from this stuff. All right, then let's see. Let me continue on and show a few more features. And let Abby, any of the ones that you want to highlight, and Jean, I'll come back to you if we have time.
Yeah, I mean, so one of the, unfortunately, the parallel to this is on at the same time. It's Holger. Holger is on at the same time doing polymorphic table functions. So I picked this one out because, like, one of the questions we are still facing is, like, I have JSON, or I have unstructured data sets, and the database these days is so powerful that we actually can utilize it in totally different ways to get the data and be able to do the analytics. And I really liked this talk from Holger, and hence why I picked it, was, you know, no longer do we have to ignore those data sets. Let's get them involved and get them into the analytics. And he's going to talk through how to get going with it. There's just so many data sets out there that are JSON format, and we need to be, you know, bringing that in and using that data to enrich the structured data that we have. So I think this one by Holger is going to be amazing. It's, again, it's all about that. How do we get more from our database and more data to do the analytics? The second one I'm going to pick up on, Dan, and this is kind of going back to what we said about our conference is more than just people talking. We said about the coffee, but actually the other part that I really love about this is the hands-on learning. So we're going to be doing hands-on learning as part of the session. So I picked out Marty Gubers. So he's going to get us started on the ADW. So, learning a little bit about the... Do
we have that in the schedule yet?
I think it's on the schedule. Hands-on learning.
We need to sit, by the way, just to give everybody a heads up, we are still moving things around. So don't get wed to where things appear in the schedule. We're recording this video while the concrete is not set yet. We're still moving things around. So there may be some sessions well, I know that there are sessions that are going to appear in here.
So it's get started with the autonomous database. Is it not coming up at all?
It's not coming up.
Okay. Well, we look at that one.
It's in there.
This is live. I mean, this is the joys of doing demos, Dan. Things go wrong.
Here, get started with the autonomous database.
Yeah, maybe I haven't dragged it in yet. So, here you go. This is as live as it gets. But the idea is that in the
we'll put it in there.
Hands-on learning, we are literally, gonna help people get started. So if you see something at the conference, you hear somebody talking about doing, Oracle machine learning, you see them doing it in Python, get along to a hands-on lab and have a go. This is the whole beauty of this, is we want you to leave here hopefully with your questions answered. So, you've got that technical question that Dan's gone and answered for you. Fantastic. But more than that, that you have some real world skills that you can take away and use at your business. And I think I know as an ACE director, that's like the joy I see is when I've been able to help someone get through the next challenge and give something back to the community. That means that they can take the next step. They've learned a bit of spatial, they've learned a bit of AI, ML, etc. Fantastic. My job's done for the week. Like, fantastic work, and that's the joy we have at this conference, with it being a bit smaller, a bit more intimate, a bit more, if you like, niche and bespoke. We can help people kind of get up to speed with something. So, it's amazing when we get to do that. Yeah.
I think what we need to do is get that one confirmed.
Okay.
Abby, I'm guessing is what happened with that. So that's fine. That'll appear in the schedule here in another day or two. All right, then I'm going to go on and give a little more information. Adel, unless there's something you especially want to highlight, I'm going to go on and talk about some other things of the conference.
No, go to the.
Okay.
To the
I want to make sure I get to some of this, because I know that we'll spend all our time talking about individual sessions. There's so much in there. So it is available. It's 3 days of content in there. You can get at it via either this URL or this URL. The one that's embedded in the website has this parallel track that you can see at a glance what's going on every day. This one is better for drilling down into the details. And this is also the app. We'll get to that. We also had feedback on day 3. That's when we turn the tables and provide feedback back to Oracle, and everything's available via a mobile app. The app that we're using, the technology behind all of this is something called Sessionize. It uses progressive web app technology. So the app is not in the Play Store, or there's nothing you have to install on your phone or tablet. You just go to this URL. Indeed, if you scan this QR code right here that appears on your screen, hold your phone up to it. I just did it because we just published this morning. And it puts an app on your phone on here for looking at the schedule. And you can click which schedules, which sessions you want to be in. It doesn't show the grid on the app, but there's only 3 rooms. But you can favorite your sessions. Click on a star. That way you can see which ones you're going to be in, and you can sync those favorites between the PC and mobile. You just get a code and enter that code to sync them back and forth between the 2 interfaces. Sometimes you want to look at things on a PC. Sometimes you want to look at them on your phone. Probably when you're on site, my guess is you'll be using your phone. By the way, before I forget, for anybody wondering, yes, we do have Wi-Fi out there. It's very well done at the Oracle Conference Center, so you'll be able to stay connected to all of your colleagues and such. Some of the highlights that we have for this, we still have some keynotes that are to be announced. We have actually several keynotes that we're working on, and we're trying to pick which ones exactly. Keep tuned on the website to see which ones we end up with on that. The sessions throughout the conference are the meat of this. This is not a vendor fair. Yes, there'll be some tables with some sponsors that you can go and talk to people, but the exhibit hall, if you will, is not the main thing. The main thing is the learning sessions, technical sessions where you learn about the products, techniques, and interesting stuff that you can do with that. We're also thrilled to announce that due to our friends in the Analytics Plus product management group, we're going to have the Red Bull race simulator. You see a picture over here of this on here. By the way, if you were at Cloud World, I'll share a secret. They had this Red Bull race simulator at Cloud World, but it was in the VIP lounge because you can't handle all the people that are there. So this conference, we're going to have it there. You'll be able to sit down, drive, and compete against others and see who scores the best lap time. And I'm looking forward to that because I haven't done one of these. But I'll probably look bad. We'll have the racing results up there, and it'll be a lot of fun. So, and then there's obviously the highlight of that is to showcase the analytics, how fast you took turn 3, and what influenced that type of stuff doing the analytics.
What you mean, Dan? It's not me beating you at the race. Is that's not the highlight? No.
That's well, we'll see, Abby. I don't think that's going to happen. Because what you don't know is before we get set up, I'm going to be there early and I'm going to be practicing on this so I can put up the best time.
Okay.
There'll be a lightning round by vendors during lunch. We'll have a reception on Tuesday evening. That's where you can, kind of have some hors d'oeuvres and get to know people. This is where a lot of the networking happens. And the key thing is that at this conference, everybody is about analytics and data. And so everybody you're talking to is going to be kind of interested in those topics. That's what's exciting about it rather than at larger events where, it's kind of people are there for some totally different technology. We'll have a Birds of a Feather lunch on Wednesday where you have tables where within that community, there'll be a spatial table, for instance, a graph table, analytics, and so forth. You can find people that you want to meet with and talk with informally over lunch. We'll have keynotes Wednesday morning and afternoon, in addition to the keynotes on Tuesday. There'll be a networking reception. Then we believe on Wednesday afternoon. By the way, quick plug, we're looking for sponsors still for this. So if you want to be featured in that, let us know. That would be in addition to our premier sponsor on this that we'll be highlighting very much. Thank you for Written and Mead for sponsoring the entire conference on this. And they'll be featured on our website as we get the logos uploaded and such. And then the Thursday feedback session with Oracle. And then throughout this, another feature that we're trying to build into the conference is these one-on-one meetings rooms. We have a meeting room that is dedicated to these one-on-one meetings. We'll have more information on our website on how to book that, how to specify times to meet with Oracle or partners. So if you want to have a place to have those one-on-one meetings, we'll have a place for it instead of having to find two chairs next to each other. We'll have a place to have those really nice meetings throughout the conference. Let's see, let's go on with the feature. The highlight of this then is technical sessions. These are pictures from previous summits where you can sit down and talk to people, hear what they have to say. It's a very nice facility if you're not familiar with the Oracle Conference Center at Redwood Shores. Place to put your laptop, learn things, that type of stuff, nice AV stuff. And I believe you all had talked about the hands-on labs. This is where you get out your laptop, you actually use the technology, and there's people guiding you through hands-on labs on all of this. They'll be towards the latter part of the conference as we've learned about the technology. Then we apply it and get dirty with the data, get dirty with the technology. Anything else from you all? Jump in if you want to highlight anything while I'm clicking through these slides.
No,
Okay.
so as I said, Dan, like I'm looking forward to the hands-on labs. I think that's where you put it all into action, and if you still then got a query, you've still got a little bit of time just to ask those questions.
Right. Also, I want to highlight, part of the reason we're doing this whole tech cast on this is so you can understand a little bit of what am I getting into, what takes place. There's going to be non-technical topics as well, i.e. food, drink, enjoying stuff, that type of thing. The Oracle Conference Center does a fantastic job of putting out nice meals for breakfast and a lunch each day. It's catered by Oracle, by a group that's been brought in by Oracle. And we have a reception, there'll be alcohol. We'll talk in the lobby in here. This is a shot of the main lobby. You can see where we're serving drinks, and then there's vendor booths, vendor tables, if you will, where you can chat with each other. But what I wanted to show was especially the intimate feeling that this has. It's not a huge exhibit hall, and you can really start to get to know some of the people and say, hey, what have you run into? I've had this problem, that type of thing. That is very nice, these type of event. The layout of the conference, this is a screenshot from Google Maps. You can see the Oracle Conference Center is up here. Oracle has, in effect, this is their original conference, their original headquarters campus with the buildings around this lagoon that you see. You can see the lake in here. Lined out as 100, 200, 300, 400. The conference center is set back here, and it's a building dedicated just as the conference center. These are parking garages, so if you rent a car, you'll be able to walk right over the conference center. They even have a high school that's right here along this, and I'll just highlight, this is where I tend to, I'll look at staying at this Hyatt house because it's so close. Frankly, it's not the fanciest hotel, but it's walking distance, very close. We'll talk about this. And this is the layout of the conference inside this building in here. This is the auditorium where the larger sessions will take place, the keynotes and such. And then there are rooms for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 breakout rooms. And most of the sessions will be in 103, 102, and 104. And then we have these other 2 rooms for getting together with people. So just to give you a sense, and here's the sponsor area in here, it really takes up all this area in here. We're going to occupy the first floor of the Oracle Conference Center. If you're looking at how to get there, we have on our website, we have information of different hotel options. There are a bunch of hotels. These are just ones that we would recommend when we asked Oracle, hey, what's nearby and such. This is the Grand Bay Hotel, is the old, help me out, the Sofitel, right? That's what everybody called it. Seems like every few years they have to this hotel changes names. So
it
just
was
down
called the
the
Sofitel, but I think
Yes.
you're right, it has changed names since then.
So
Yes,
that's the
and it
Grand
changed
Bay
names
Hotel.
and ownership. That's
Yeah.
correct. Yep, it's the old Sofitel.
Thank you, Carrie. And then there's the Hyatt House that I mentioned, Homewood Suites, and the San Francisco Airport Marriott. Generally, the closest airport is flying into SFO, San Francisco. There are 2 other airports you can go into if you can find better flights into them or cheaper options. And then I'll also mention, you're looking at a lift to get back and forth. That's what a lot of people do, frankly. You can rent a car. You saw there was parking garages, but sometimes you're easier to just get a lift and not have a car. There'll be people with cars that get back and forth. It does influence where you stay. And I'll just pop up a screen here showing where some of the hotels are. This is that lagoon that I was talking about. I saw it referred to as Lake Larry. The conference hotel is here. This is that hotel that I mentioned. There are these other here, and this is that Grand Bay Hotel. All this is within walking distance. You just walk if you stay in one of these. Then there are other options. This is, I believe, at San Mateo Marriott, San Francisco, that some of the Oracle people, I'm guessing, will probably stay at, and other options along here as well. Then you're going to need to, I think there's shuttle buses from some of these hotels that get you to Oracle. Otherwise, you're renting a car to get there. Okay. With that, I wanted to come back around and I wanted to talk, we'll wrap up with this, but let me come back to the scheduling here and see what other sessions people are looking for. Adel, I kind of didn't give you a chance before. Any other sessions you want to highlight? And Jean, you had some others, I believe, and I kind of cut you off in this, but let me give Adel a chance, any that she wants to highlight, especially.
I would like to see one of the sessions for you, Dan, and one of your customers, Outfront Media.
Okay.
And that is it's a perfect perfect example of the things that you can see in this conference. It's not only technical sessions from partners or Oracle people, but also from clients. So you will learn from the customers, the solutions and what were the problems that they have, how they solve these issues. So I think this conference is the perfect combination of this type of sessions, all technical sessions, but it's a perfect mix between customer sessions, partner sessions, and Oracle sessions, which are very, very important also because it's, as you mentioned, Dan.
We'll have a couple customers at this. One is one with Rosendin. We'll be talking about advanced analytics at Rosendin. This is done by Kathy Pendley of Rosendin. She was actually with Thalamus for a while, but now at a customer. So she's going to be talking about taking analytics to the next level with ADW and Oracle Analytics Cloud. And then Outfront Media has actually a couple sessions at this that they'll be talking about, you know, how they're using analytics within Outfront Media. So let me go ahead and I saw it before. Go ahead and click on the search button and Outfront Media competitor demo. Chris will be showing that, how they're using this. This is a billboard company now doing more digital media, outdoor digital media, and they'll be showing how they look at other billboard sites and other outdoor media and how they compare against each other, that type of thing, using some of the spatial technology to look at what's nearby, that type of thing, and looking this on a map, that type of thing. Jean, let me come back to you. Let me wrap around and see if there's any others that you especially want to highlight.
Yeah, I agree that the customer use cases are always really informative and inspiring. And just on the graph side, I'm looking forward to a customer session from Siemens, the large manufacturing conglomerate internationally, and how they use graph to connect several different disparate systems. And there will also be a graph use case from a very large international automotive company showing how they manage and effectively search their large R&D document databases with graph technologies. But Dan, if I could pick just another session to spotlight on, there's a awesome speaker named Abby Giles-Hay that I always love watching. And I'm excited that she has, among her many areas of expertise in the analytics area, she's focusing on graph in one session called Graph Analytics Applied to Football. And I mean, graphs, Abby, football, or soccer, as we less informed Americans call it. This is just going to be a really cool sports analytics type of session, which I'm just really looking forward to. I've seen Abby do sessions on sports analytics highlighting Oracle Analytics Cloud and Oracle ML. So now she'll take her lens with graph. And I think Abby can probably talk about it much better than I can.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a fun way of showing some of the cool stuff that can happen in graph analytics, which is good because it'll open it up to a different audience and kind of show people. But it came from a real world question working here in the UK with some soccer academies. They were wanting to answer a very unique question, and we attempted to do it in SQL, and I'm pretty sure, you know, SQL Maria would have been able to solve it because she's amazing SQL Maria, and she's at the conference, so I will check my SQL with her, but it was like getting into reams and reams and reams of SQL, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm sure there's got to be a better way to do this, and lo and behold, graph analytics within about 5 lines had solved the question. So, you know, it was one of those where I went, actually, sometimes using the right tool to answer the right question is what you've got to do. You've got to look outside maybe your comfort zone and see what else there is out there. So yeah, we're going to bring it to life through graph analytics. And those who've seen me present on soccer before know that there's a whole kind of social story to this on why this project got started. And if you like, this is the next phase of it and where it ended up going next.
Well, super. I look forward to seeing that. All right, then, you know, let me start trying to wrap up here. You know, so this is your first warning if there's anything else that you wanted to especially highlight. But I wanted to come back and just mention there's no way we can cover all of the different sessions that are in here. There is the A&D Summit 2023.sessionize.com is the app. And then there's also, if you go to our website at andouc.org, you can see all the information about the summit in here. It will change, I promise, as we go forward. Some of these sessions will move around, so don't get wed to the schedule. We were excited with the opportunity to be able to show you what this looks like for Tuesday. And then Wednesday, you can see we haven't filled everything all out yet. It will be filled out by the time you actually get there. And Thursday, and then that afternoon session on influence in the future, Oracle's product direction. Your feedback is being designed basically by Oracle to come back and allow us to provide that feedback and wrap this stuff up on Thursday afternoon. Then we have the travel information in here as well. It's still taking additional sponsors. If you want to have a table at Analytics and Data Summit as a sponsor, we're taking sponsorships for that and meal sponsors. We'd love to be able to highlight your efforts to help us out. So there's also this information on the app that you can get at A&D Summit 2023.sessionize.com. Probably the most important thing is sign up. Click on this buy ticket. You'll be brought out to Eventbrite, and then sign up for the conference, and you can see all the information and the prices for this as we put this together.
And Dan, I think there's an early bird registration discount, right?
Yeah, the early bird registration takes you through right now through January 31st, and then we'll go to our regular pricing, and then there's on-site pricing that happens in March, basically, once we flip over to March. So when you get your tickets, you can see all this in here and sign up for the event in here. So right now, you'll see, as soon as we update this, you'll see the early bird rate for the conference, and sign up and come join us. All right, so then, so be ready for that. With that, I'm gonna start wrapping up here. Top 5 reasons to attend A&D Summit 2023. By the way, yes, I did notice that it's top 5, but there's 6 bullets. This is one of the things we'll fix at Analytics and Data Summit. So on this, 3 days there, and 3 days focused on analytics and data, and it's focused content on these topics. We have the tracks Analytics Plus, Machine Learning, Spatial, Graph, and Data Lakehouse. There will be information on how to move data back and forth, autonomous data warehouse, as well as the spatial information in the database, the graph in the database, machine learning in the database, and then this analytics content in using mostly Oracle Analytics. It's also an intimate, engaged community. Here's where you can run into people with like mind that are passionate about these topics, just like you are, and run into them in the hallway, see them in breakout sessions, all that type of stuff. I think it's also the perfect combination of really customers coming in partners, and Oracle. We really are, have all three of these areas covered, and look forward to having you all come and join us and learn about the technology. It's really technical sessions, no marketing doing this type of stuff. It is the features of the product and how to use the product. It's those use cases that cause you to kind of say, that's interesting. I could go back and apply this to where I am. And then the hands-on labs, we've had this for years. We go back like 7-8 years doing this with various summits. You get dirty with the data and actually get to use it hands-on. What have I missed? Let me start wrapping up. Jean, anything I've missed on here that I ought to try and highlight?
No, I think that sums it up really well. And I think just at every summit, the validation is just that we always get attendees that are on a real conference high afterwards, that we always get glowing reviews about the quality of the content and the networking and the relationships that they've been able to start building. And it just really adds value for people when they go back to the office and have to figure out how to solve problems.
Abby, anything I missed from you?
No, just that, looking forward to that cup of coffee and definitely the birds of a feather, just chatting about the new cool stuff in the ML world. You know that I love a bit of ML chat.
And Adel, you've kind of served the dual role here as a panelist, but also as kind of hosting this and being our moderator. So I'm going to turn things back over to you and let you wrap this up. Perfect.
Thank you so much. I think this is summarized perfectly well what the conference is. It's a unique conference. Honestly, it's a unique conference. And I'm Oracle's director. I have been presenting in conference from 2011, so lots of time. And for me, this is a unique conference. The way that you can just focus on these topics. And as you said, the way that it's not thousands and thousands of people that you don't know if you can reach someone and ask a question. So everybody is accessible, everybody's flexible, everybody, it's willing to help. So I think that is the most important thing for me. So I think for me it's my preference conference. If I have to choose one conference, it will be Analytics and Data Summit. And it's not because I'm in this lately I have been part of the committee, but honestly it has been like this for 4 years. I really love this conference. So thank you so much, Sheen, Abby, Dan, for share all this information that I think is so important for people to understand all the benefits that they have if they attend this conference. And thank you all to our attendees to be here, and see you, all of you, on March 14 to 16 in Redwood Shores. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you.